Now, I said before that if I was going to work as a designer, what country, what companies would I go to that seems to have the most fun designing cars? And I've said that Kia right now is doing some pretty cool stuff. Hyundai as well has been doing some amazing stuff the last 5 years. But I think, honestly, France is starting to catch up for real with these retro EVs that specifically Renault is pumping out right now. And here we have the new Twingo looking absolutely fantastic. If we compare this to the concept, it is almost identical to the concept. We do have some regular door handles here, for example. They aren't flush like they were in the concept. And I just love this design. This is what I want to see more car companies do. Look back in time. Look at what are some iconic models from the past that we can revive into a new modern design and put some cool drivetrain in there. It doesn't necessarily have to all be EVs like Renault is doing right here. But, take some inspiration from some legendary cars you have from the past. That is exactly what happened here. I love to see this. It's such a cool design. The specs for this are not fantastic at all. But I honestly don't care. And I actually think it suits this vehicle to have the type of specs that we have. So we're going to jump into Photoshop, have a look at these beautiful sketches, compare it to the original Twingo up there, and just show you just how similar it is and what a perfect modernization this actually is. Before we do that, let's have a look at this quick article from Car Scoops. Link down below. So Renault bug-eyed Twingo just schooled Volkswagen on how to do cheap and cheerful. He gets a 27.5 kilowatt-hour battery pack and 81 horsepower. And these are electric horsepower. Now, they could have boosted it a little bit. Is it necessary, though? No, it's not. And these are the type of EVs that I want to see more of. Just reduce the power, reduce the battery, the range, and have them be fun, funky, urban EVs. That is exactly what this is supposed to be. So we have 62 miles, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, 0 to 62 miles per hour in 12.1 seconds. That's fine. Top speed, 81 miles per hour. You can still take this on the highway. I'm not sure how long it's going to last, though, because the battery is probably going to drain pretty fast. So the 27.5 kilowatt-hour battery pack charges as 50 kilowatts, 80% in 30 minutes. Now, keep in mind that the speed here is related to the battery size. So it's not extremely slow, even though it is 50 kilowatts. It doesn't take that long to charge up a small battery like this. So we can probably all agree that the design works, whether or not you remember the 1993 original. It clearly apes. So you can either love this or hate it. I honestly don't see how you can hate this design. To me, it's such a good design. And Renault seems to be one of the companies. You also have the Renault 5, which is one of the coolest looking EVs ever made. Because you have the clear soul of the original Renault 5 in that model. And they put it into production. And it looks like an old school Renault 5 in a modernized way, and so does this new Twingo. So Renault kept things simple, using a shortened version of the AMP-R small platform found in the 4 and 5 and the 5's Nissan Micra cousin. But where the 5 gives buyers a choice of 40 or 52 kilowatt-hour battery pack, this one comes with 27.5, as we talked about, to keep costs down and to emphasize and reflect its urban intent. So this is a car that you want to, drive around in small French cities and keep it within the city limits and just go back and forth to work, have some fun, go to a cafe or something like that, not go on longer road trips. That is not what this vehicle is built to do. And again, I think it's a great idea. Range is only 163 miles. You just go around your business every day and then you plug it in at night in your garage and you have probably a full charge by the next morning. DC charging is capped as 50 kilowatts, but that should be viewed in the context of the battery size like we just talked about, because it's so tiny, 10 to 80%, takes about 30 minutes, which is not bad at all. Renault will add more powertrain options in time, but the sole setup available from launch consists of a single front-engine motor, 81 horsepower, 129 pound-feet of torque. So it's not going to be a, street racer, this thing, for sure. The Twingo's natural habitat is the supermarket car park, and it's very, very small, and it doesn't weigh a lot either. So it only weighs 2,650 pounds, which is not bad at all, and Renault themselves says that you have space for 4 adults in here, thanks to this package with the battery pack underneath. You don't have a transmission tunnel, you don't have an engine in front, you can stretch out the wheelbases and create a pretty nice space inside. And here you can see the interior. The interior looks fantastic as well. It's such a funky car. And it's such a fun design. You can see how much space you have in the back. It looks like plenty of space back here. You can also slide back and forth these seats, I do think 7 inches, so that you can decide whether you want more luggage in the back or more legroom for the passengers. Great to see that. Beautiful small little details in the interior. Look at this Twingo inside of the dash here, looking absolutely beautiful. What a funky looking design. So inside, Renault has tried hard to retain as much of this concept's pizzazz as possible, while cutting down costs. Now, the goal here is to get it at around $23,000 or 18,000 pounds, and they do think they're actually going to be able to make it in production at that price point. And the design, we talked about this already quickly, how it resembles the original, looking fantastic. Even the side view looks like the original Twingo. Look at the overhang in the back here. There is not even. It's non-existent, the overhang in the back, a little bit larger overhang in the front end, and the headlights look great as well. It has no sense of aggression in this design. If you look at the original design, it's one of the most friendly faces you could ever put on a car, and I think this one has that same vibe as well. Learn design sketching online with me. My online class is now only $47. If you have any desire to pick up the skill of sketching products using simple tools such as just a big pen and some cheap print paper, this is something you want to check out. Now, over the years, I've taught over thousands of students from all around the world how to sketch cars and products using my simple sketching techniques, and most of them have seen amazing results from my classes. Analog Designer Pro Pack is the full bundle of all my classes I've released over the years, and it's yours for just $47. You also have a lifetime access to all the videos. Check out everything that's included and see what my students have to say in the link in the description, or simply visit analogdesignerpropack.com. Let's jump into Photoshop here and have a look at what's going on with Renault right now. It's not going to be sold here in the States, of course. The Fiat 500, it was a similar type of vehicle, the new electric 500, and that did not sell well whatsoever. I actually reviewed it, and just driving to my review location, it drained about 30% of the battery, so it's not really suitable. I mean, the distances that you have here in the States, the driving distances are so much usually longer on average than the distances they have in Europe. And that is the reason why, even though I love this design, it would have to have a range of about 250 miles minimum to work here in the States. But looking at the original, look at these very, very cute headlights in the front end. We have a nice bumper here, round fog lights in the lower section, these intakes up top for the hood, in the hood, and look at the A-pillar, how it goes straight down like this. It doesn't even have a defined hood in the front end. It's just a cute little box with a nice shoulder line here as well. They definitely brought that back in the new design. To me, it's it's just spot on, this refresh of the Twingo. You have the intakes here as well. I'm not sure if these are now intakes or something else, but you do have the same graphics like we had on the original right here coming back in the new Twingo. But the main thing here are going to be the headlights. The headlights look so nice because we have this piece inside of the headlight itself now being body colored, which makes it for a very, very interesting design. And of course, you also have these daytime run lights in the lower section right here, and also this curvature up top, still retaining this extremely friendly design, because not every single new car today needs to look super aggressive and angry in the front end. I mean, if you have 81 horsepower, there's no reason for the car, the face of the car, to have an expression of anger or aggression. It should be something like this, where it's just extremely cute and friendly in the front end. I also like that we have a subtle little line right here that houses this key graphic in the lower section. We don't have any fog lights here. I would like to see some fog lights because we had that on the original right there. Now looking at the side view, And here you can clearly see, again, the resemblance to the original. What they changed from the concept, the biggest change is going to be the door handles, which are now pretty standardized door handles. I wish they kept door handles like this. We just had a circle in the door like this, and then you just put your hand in there and open it that way. I think that would have suited this design better than to have just regular door handles like we have in the production version down here. But I do like this line or this graphics in the bottom. It looks very, very cool. I'm not entirely sure. It goes in like this, and then you have chamfer at the bottom with the circular endpoint right here that fades in this area, looking beautiful. And we also have this rounded greenhouse up top right here, looking beautiful and friendly as well, connecting everything that we have in the front, then the circular elements that we have in the front coming back in the side view. But look at the overall package. We have one line here, then the A-pillar goes straight down, Lamborghini style, into the hood. We don't even have any sort of upswing or straight line to create a a definition for the hood. It goes straight down from the A-pillar. And I'm always surprised when I look at this Twingo, how the heck did they fit an engine under there? It has to be the size of a gallon of milk or something like that to be able to fit it under there. And then we have the belt line right here as well. No real lines in the original, but the overhang in the rear, you can see, was non-existent on the original as well. Very small overhang in the front for the old one. And we have the same design here. Zero overhang in the back, great to see it, and we have a small overhang in the front. And you can see the wheelbase here stretched out as much as possible. What this does, it creates everything within this box can be used for interior space, and that is a reason why you can fit 4 adults inside here, sitting pretty comfortably in this vehicle, because we have this battery pack underneath, and we have the stretch wheelbase. And no transmission tunnel, no engine or anything like that. And you can see also the greenhouse here with the A-pillar going down in the same vibe like we had in the original. The wheel design looks great as well. You have a bunch of wheel design to choose from when it comes to this. I would probably go with these ones, even though not my favorite design, but I just think the funkiness of these wheels suit this vehicle overall. And these are, these are 18-inch wheels. I would not want to put bigger wheels on this. I do believe the original probably had 14s. Or 15s or something like that. Now looking at the rear end, same here, same with this design. The biggest change here is going to be this, the trunk itself was just a sort of a door on the original, but here they created this beautiful chamfer of black going around here. So a nice framing with this design right here. And also the taillight unit still has this friendly look to it, and it's almost an identical design from what we have in the front end with the headlight unit. I do believe these are probably the reverse lights and the indicator dots or LEDs right here, these small little cubes. We have a nice line here as well, and this, even though it is a Twingo with 81 horsepower, this would be a super fun project to work on as a designer, because you have this to base your design on. And then essentially just create a funky, beautiful little design based on the original. And that is exactly what we got. Everything is smooth and rounded out. And I love to see it in this design. Now, last but not least, looking at the interior, I'm not sure if we can connect the original too much to what's going on in the new one. Because the old one had, of course, this being the 90s era and the early 2000s, a lot of plastic. And this was an era where French cars were not necessarily known for their build quality. Even though I personally really enjoy this interior, I think it's so straightforward and so functional. You have these toggles there for the vents and all of that, the fan speed, temperature. You have 2 vents up top, some funky button up there as well. You don't even have a gauge cluster. It's probably up here. I can't really remember what the Twingo was like for the interior. And of course, manual transmission that we don't have in the new one, obviously. But we still have the controls being physical. We have the hazard button right here. I'm not sure where the start button is, probably down here. And we have a screen that every single new car needs to have today, but it doesn't look too big. What I love about this interior is that we have a gauge cluster that is completely within the dash, looking beautiful. Steering wheel looks nice as well. For $23,000, I think this design, you're paying for the design here, obviously, and the nostalgic feel of the original. I do love that it says Twingo here as well. So please, BMW, Mercedes, Audi, Take your old school Audi Ur-Quattro, for example, take that one, make it into a beast of a modernized version in 2026, and I can promise you, if you take the Mercedes 190, for example, or the old BMW E30 and modernize those into modern designs with, modern reliability and powertrains, you would outsell pretty much all the competitors from the rest of the world. And I do think these are going to sell very well, specifically in their home country of France.